Hello everyone, my name is Anuj Jindal and let's talk about our Republic Day. First of all, I would like to wish everyone a very happy Republic Day 2023. This is our 74th Republic Day that we are celebrating. बहुत सारे इंडियंस सोचते हैं कि रिपब्लिक डे क्यों मनाया जाता है. हाउ इज़ इट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द इंडिपेंडेंस डे दैट वी सेलिब्रेट ऑन 15th अगस्त. इसकी सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है और प्रेजेंट टाइम्स में इस बार रिपब्लिक डे में ऐसा क्या नया हो रहा है which holds a lot of significance for you. So I'll be answering all these questions and a lot more which are relevant not only for your awareness but also for your upcoming examinations. तो बात करते हैं रिपब्लिक डे के बारे में. सबसे पहले द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन दैट ऑफन पॉप्स अप इन आवर माइंड्स इज व्हाई इज इट सेलिब्रेटेड. उसको सेलिब्रेट किया ही क्यों जाता है. Saurabh Kepal recently said, imagine that your rights were as permanent as the ongoing government. मतलब 5 साल के लिए सरकार आई है and your rights are also in line with those 5 years and that government. Another government comes in, those rights are either demolished, replaced completely with another set of rights या फिर आपको कोई rights मिलेंगे ही नहीं. Imagine that kind of a world, imagine that kind of an India. वेल इट इज़ वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट राइट. आपको हर 5 साल में अपनी हैबिट्स, अपने राइट्स, अपनी ड्यूटीज़ सब कुछ चेंज करना पड़ेगा. यू माइट फेस अ लॉट ऑफ रिपरकशंस, रिप्रेशंस टुमारो इफ़ द राइट्स चेंज एज द गवर्नमेंट्स चेंज. इसको प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया. वी क्रिएटेड अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन and gave that constitution more powers more than the government चाहे कोई भी रहे, whether it is today or 75 years from today, the constitution stays the same. The rights that we have, the duties that we have, the provisions that are provided in the constitution which ensure supremacy of the people, protection of the people, ये सब permanent रहेगा. For that we needed a constitution. That is what we got on our Republic Day. इस दिन 26th January 1950 was the day when we signed a document saying that now finally we adopt and enact this constitution. Another reason why we celebrate 26th January as the Republic Day, or why is it that we celebrate Republic Day at all, is no family to be given the highest status through monarchy. आप यूके में जाओगे आपको मिलेगा वहाँ पे मोनार्की है. देयर इज a family which is considered as the royal family. Elizabeth, you must have heard about her. Prince Charles, now King Charles, you must have heard about him. Lot of controversies surround that family. India does not have any monarch family like that. ऐसे कोई भी फैमिली नहीं है विच हैज़ बीन गिवन द हाइएस्ट स्टेटस बाय द गवर्नमेंट. ऐसी कोई भी प्रोटेक्टेड फैमिली नहीं है. व्हाट दिस मीन्स इज सुप्रीमेसी not of a family, not of any person, but of the constitution. And through this constitution, every individual in the country is supreme. Every citizen of India is equal and supreme. ये देन है हमारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की. एंड दैट इज़ वाई वी सेलिब्रेट 26th January with such pompous and so much zeal every year as our Republic Day. अगर हमारे पास कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं होता, इफ़ वी डिड नॉट हैव सुप्रीमेसी ऑफ द पीपल एंश्योर्ड थ्रू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, तो फिर आपको पता नहीं होता आज आपके राइट्स क्या हैं, कल आपके राइट्स क्या होंगे. टुमारो यू डू समथिंग, you might be put in jail saying that you have violated such and such act passed by the parliament, you have violated such and such provision of the act passed by the parliament, no matter how regressive it is, because there is no constitution safeguarding it. Let's move ahead. अब समझते हैं what happened between 1947 to 1950 in this time period, because you know that we got independence in 1947, but in 1950 we became a republic. So why did it take so long, and why is there a gap between Independence Day and Republic Day? ये gap में हुआ क्या था? So in 1947 India attained independence, but इंडिपेंडेंस मिलने के बाद क्या हुआ? George VI was appointed as India's constitutional monarch. So India was created as a monarchy in 1947 after it attained independence, because we did not have any infrastructure to carry out elections. We did not have any infrastructure in terms of constitution to tell us what to do, how to do, what not to do. ये सब था ही नहीं. We did not have all these things, and it was relevant, it was important that after independence there is some kind of head of the state who is managing everything, who is signing on whatever is going on. Therefore India was constituted as a monarch in 1947. India did not have its own constitution yet. All acts were based on Government of India Act 1935, जो कि इंडिपेंडेंस से पहले आया था. A lot had changed in these 12-13 years, and therefore we needed something more futuristic, something more Indian in nature, right? Something which is more focused on the rights of Indians as independent people. तो हमने क्या किया, हमने एक ड्राफ्टिंग कमेटी बनाई. वी क्रिएटेड अ कमिटी इन 1947 itself on 29th August, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was appointed as the chairman of this committee. The purpose of this committee was to draft a constitution so that this monarch can be removed as soon as possible, so that the supremacy of the constitution and supremacy of the people through the constitution can be achieved. It took us 2 years, 11 months, 18 days to draft this lengthy yet all inclusive constitution, and it was signed on 24th but made effective from 26th January. Or इसी दिन, because we had a monarchy. Now when the constitution has been enacted, we don't need a monarchy. Therefore on 26th January 1950 itself, we had Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was appointed as the first president. So this is the relevance of our Republic Day. Let's come to the next question. What did Dr. B.R. Ambedkar think after 26th January? He was the one who created the constitution. He must have been very proud, but he brought out a contradiction which is very important and should be discussed and understood. Contradiction kya tha? What was the contradiction that he was talking about? He said, now we have one vote, one value. Every person has the right to vote, and also at the same time every person's vote has one single value. However, there is no one person, one value. अभी भी one man, one value नहीं है. Why? Because there is inequality in the nation, and that is the objective of the constitution, to remove this inequality, whether it is economic, whether it is social, whether it is cultural, to remove these kinds of inequalities from the nation. Political हमने remove कर दिया. कैसे remove कर दिया? By giving one vote to every person and equal right, equal value of that vote to every person. ये हमने भले ही remove कर दिया through this constitution, through making India a republic, but we still need to work on economic, social and cultural equality. And this is the starting point of doing that. This is not the end. That is what Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had to say. Let's read through it because it's a very important paragraph that he said after we enacted our constitution on 26th January. On the 26th of January 1950, we are going to enter into a life of contradictions. In politics, we will have equality. In social and economic life, we will have inequality. In politics, we will be recognizing the principle of one man, one vote, one value. But in our social and economic life, we shall, by reason of social and economic structure, continue to deny the principle of one man, one value. ये उन्होंने बहुत क्लियरली बोल दिया था, and I think it's a very important insight into what still persists. Inequality based upon economics, inequality based upon our social status, inequality because of the differences in our cultures that still exists in India. And that is what Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had already identified in 1950, on the day that we got our constitution. अब रिपब्लिक डे की आपने, you must have seen that there is a parade held. What is the purpose of this parade? ये क्यों parade की जाती है? Number one, to show India's defense capability. इंडिया की जो डिफेंस कैपेबिलिटी है सबसे पहले उसको शोकेस किया जाता है. नंबर टू, टू शोकेस इंडियाज कल्चरल हेरिटेज. नंबर थ्री, टू शोकेस इंडिया सोशल हिस्ट्री एंड हेरिटेज. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. It is connected with what Dr. B.R. Ambedkar had to say. We are trying to attain equality not only in political life but also in our culture and social history, and that is what our Republic Day also celebrates. And with that celebration, we are trying to create all cultures, all societies equal within India. एंड फोर्थली, सिटीजन्स आर अवॉर्डेड पद्म अवार्ड्स. इसमें पद्म अवार्ड्स में तीन होते हैं, पद्म भूषण, विभूषण, पद्मश्री. ये तीन अवार्ड्स दिए जाते हैं. सो दीज आर अवार्ड्स अवॉर्डेड गिवन टू द सिटीजन्स फॉर देयर आउटस्टैंडिंग परफॉर्मेंस, फॉर देयर डिस्टिंग्विश्ड सर्विस टू द पीपल, टू द नेशन. तो ये मेन पर्पस होता है रिपब्लिक डे परेड का. लेट्स नाउ कम टू रिपब्लिक डे परेड और रिपब्लिक डे 2023, where we have invited Mr. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who is the head of Egypt. इजिप्ट के वो हेड हैं, उनको इनवाइट किया गया है. बट वाई? बिकॉज आपने देखा होगा 3-4 साल पहले, सम ईयर्स बैक, ओबामा वॉज बराक ओबामा वॉज इनवाइटेड. ऐसा क्या हो गया कि हम यूएस से चेंज करके, शिफ्ट करके अफ्रीका में आ गए हैं? What has changed in the last 4-5 years? Why is it so important to invite the president of Egypt as the chief guest of Republic Day? Because जो भी ये functions होते हैं, इसमें invitation का एक purpose होता है. It's not just about inviting any random person. There is a purpose involved. There is a larger picture involved. First of all, let's try and understand where is Egypt and what is its importance. So it's a transcontinental state. हम इसको बोलते हैं transcontinental state. Why? Because it is touching upon multiple continents. It is a link between multiple continents. If you want to reach Europe, you go have access through Egypt, through the Suez Canal, Red Sea. If you want to access Africa, Egypt is an important point. If you want to access West Asia, Egypt is an important point. So it acts as a linking pin through land as well as through water to various continents, and that is why it is so important geographically. इस importance की वजह से ही, this is the main reason why we have invited the president of Egypt. Why are we trying very hard to create better relations with Egypt, to try and create something more interesting with the nation state, जिससे कि हम इकोनॉमिकली, सोशली, इंटरनेशनली ज़्यादा ग्रो कर पाएँ एज अ नेशन. सो कनेक्टिंग लिंक between Africa, Europe, and West Asian markets. So if you want to grow economically, provide various of your exports to these three markets, this is the linking pin, and therefore you should have better, good relations with Egypt. Okay. इंडिया, मिडल ईस्ट, यूरोप फ्रेट फूड एनर्जी कॉरिडोर, 3 कॉरिडोर्स साथ में बनाने की बात चल रही है. वी आर ट्राइंग टू वर्क ऑन दैट. फ्रेट कॉरिडोर, फूड कॉरिडोर, एनर्जी कॉरिडोर, थ्रू विच we can not only export our energy, export our food, export our freight, also import various commodities at a lesser price in more reasonable terms to India, so that we can grow faster. ऐसा नहीं कि हम लोग ऑयल खरीद रहे हैं $100 में, यहाँ से हम लोग प्रॉबेबली खरीद सकते हैं $70 में. ओके, जस्ट अ हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जाम्पल. सो दैट इज द अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ making India's freight food energy corridor a reality and a flourishing method of connecting with Middle East, Africa, as well as Europe. Egypt right now imports 90% of its food requirements from Russia and Ukraine. India is trying to replace that by providing for Egypt's food requirements through India. Alternative route to Europe and West Asia. Now, we've always had access to these countries through Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, if not through the Gwadar port, but we are losing control over that. These are very hostile nations, and therefore India wants an alternative route, and this region provides that alternative route. This is the importance of Egypt, and this is why we have invited Egypt's president this time. So this was all about This was all about today's session where we talked about Republic Day, Republic Day की importance historically, why is it celebrated, and this year what is happening. If you like these videos, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Press that like button so that more and more students can watch such videos, learn something new every day. All the best. Take care. Bye bye.